Hey folks, how the hell are ya? I'm Houston.
And I'm Kaylen, and you're listening to Crime or Reason.
Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back to our show.
We hope everybody's doing fantastic, having a good end of summer, as summer closeout.
A summer closeout sale.
So,
Woohoo! Big summer blowout.
it has been a hot fucking summer, and I could not be more excited for it to be gone.
I am sad that it's ending because I would like to be on the beach all the time.
There's not a beach here.
I did go to the beach though.
Okay.
So
You can go to the beach in Florida, and
let's go to the beach each.
it's warm there most of the time. So, doesn't matter if it's summer in Kentucky or not.
Trash. Winter's trash.
No, it's not.
Yep.
I mean, it's not great. I don't love it, but I love it substantially better than summer. Our summers here just aren't enjoyable because they're just hot and sticky. Sticky. Sticky's the big one.
It was pretty sticky this summer.
It's always sticky. But this summer was really, really bad. We would get like 2 days of like heavy rain, and then we'd get a drought for like a week. But it's okay because it is fall. Almost.
Almost. I think
And,
September 23rd,
Yeah.
right?
Something. My birthday's coming up. I'm going to be 22.
I can't believe how fast time's gone by. You're going to be 22, really?
Yep.
Right. Okay.
I've only...
How many times have
Yeah.
you been 22 now?
Well, this is my first time.
This would be the 8th time.
No, because I've been 21 for the past 9 years. So,
Fair enough.
yeah, I'll be the big, the 3-0.
The
The big,
the big
the big dead.
thirsty.
Little thirsty 30.
Ha! Thirsty 30.
We're having a badass birthday party, a badass birthday jamboree.
Death to Huey's 20s.
Yep, we're gonna do a summer camp, like a scary summer camp theme, so I can kill off my 20s. We're going to have a lake house, and we're gonna do a bunch of like summer Olympics during the day, and at night we're going to be belligerently drunk.
Belligerently drunk.
So it's gonna be fun. We're getting shirts made.
Shirts made.
Speaking of shirts, if you haven't checked out our merch yet,
Please do.
like that segue.
I like that's a good segue. I said I like. That's a good segue.
I like that. It's a good segue. But yeah, go to any of our socials, get on our link tree, and you can find the merch shop link there. So
We love the merch.
yeah, it's fun. I really, really like it. But I mean, I designed it, so
So
I say that like it's something spectacular. It's just font. I picked out fonts
the
and what to
words.
say. Yeah,
put the words on the shirt. We're ready for the spooky shit.
the spooky shit.
The spooky shit.
Yeah, it's the best time of the. It's the most scary time of the year.
Wonderful scary.
Wonderfully scary.
Wonderfully scary.
Oh my god, I love it. Haunted houses,
Ghosts.
ghosts, and scary movies. Oh, I'm such a slut for a horror movie.
You know what comes out this year?
What?
I'm so
Oh,
excited.
the new
Hocus
Halloween.
Pocus 2.
Oh yeah.
I can't wait.
Let's see. The new Halloween movie will be coming out.
Oh yeah. Well, there's
Uh,
more stuff than that, but Hocus Pocus 2 is.
Orphan First Kill just came out.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of
Spooky movies.
yeah, bodies just came out. There's
Oh yeah.
so many that I
Yep,
need
yep.
to watch. I love anything horror and dark comedy. It's
Mm-hmm.
just
Obviously.
in the words of Ghostface, what's your favorite scary movie? Let us know. Please let us know. We want to know. I'll go ahead and tell you mine. Do you know mine? Kaylen? What's my favorite scary movie, man?
Oh man, it's hard though
Big
because
fan. Big fan
here's
of
the
it.
thing though. I feel like you have a few
No.
that could be runners up.
There's only one of them that I'm posting like kissy, drooly heart faces on social media about.
Well, it's not Halloween.
No. I like Halloween,
They are good.
but he's the man of my dreams.
He's the man of my dream. It's not it. It's
He's the man of my dreams.
not Freddy versus Jason.
It's Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Freddy.
Yeah, Nightmare on Elm Street's my favorite scary movie. He's literally
See, that's not the one that I said. I said it's not Freddy versus
He's
Jason.
literally the man of my dreams. And I have like a favorite horror. Fuck. Sorry, guys. Can't get
Whoa.
together. I have a favorite horror, which is Kaylen, but I also have a favorite horror, like modern horror movie.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And do you know what that one is?
What is it?
I talk about this one a lot too, and how I really, really wish that they'd make a new one, because you can do a bunch of storylines that don't have to be connected to make it work.
Yep, nope, I'm not getting any bells ringing in here.
I reviewed it with Michael and Samantha on an earlier episode.
Oh, Final
Yeah,
Destination.
I love the Final Destination
Me
franchise.
also.
Apart from the fourth one was a literal ass, but that guy got his guts sucked right out of it.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, I don't know. I'm big on horror movies. They're my favorite genre.
Yep.
Me and my old roommate Lexi, who is also big into horror movies, uh, we would always like want to watch horror movies, and then our other roommate would never watch or would never watch movies with us, because like anytime we were like, let's have a movie night, it was always scary movies, because majority rules. And
Yeah.
you got horror buffs like me and Lexi.
Yeah, love the scary movies.
Yeah, literally, me and her have a conversation. Like, we talk like a couple times a week, and we always have like a full-fledged conversation about something to do with horror every single week. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
fun time. But yeah, let us know what your favorite horror movie is.
Scary movie.
Your favorite scary movie. Did you like the new Scream? I love the new Scream. Thought it was a fun
I don't think I've seen it yet.
You haven't?
Yeah, I know.
2022.
Need to have.
It was good.
Need to have to say it.
Need to have to say it.
Need to have to say it.
They're already working on the next one.
Yeah, need to have to see it. I just finished The Haunting of Bly Manor.
I am.
Have you watched that one?
I'm halfway through Haunting of Hill House.
Oh, it's better. Honestly, The Haunting of Hill House is the best one they made.
It's so funny because I was looking at the characters, and the mother is played by Carla Gugino, and I was sitting there watching it, not thinking much about it, and then I just kept thinking about how much she looked like Elizabeth Resner which is the woman who plays Esme on Twilight.
Yeah.
And I think about that every single time I see her. Anyway, so I was watching it. My grandfather was in there, and I was like, she looks so much like another actress. Like they look incredibly close. And then it cuts to one of the future scenes, and Elizabeth Resner is the girl who plays her daughter as an adult. And I was like, oh, even other people see it. Like they're both in here. So it was a fun time. But yeah.
Wait till you see the end of Haunting of Hill House. You're gonna love it.
It's been a wild trip already.
It is. It's wild.
Like,
I need to rewatch it.
by the time I got through like episode 2, I was just like, oh, yeah, it's a fun time. It's really hard. I was talking to one of my friends about this, about how hard it is for me to do series. Like, I would much rather do like a docu-series, or like, I would much rather you put it, if you give me like 3-part movies, like, like a trilogy, that's going to be easier for me to watch than like a sequence of episodes. I don't know why.
Because you're going to predict the ending.
Well,
but
I don't
telling
even know.
You right now,
it's
you're
just like
not.
harder for me. Well, it's not even that. It's just harder for me to get into it.
Oh.
Anymore, and it used to not be. Like, I used to love TV shows, but something now, it's just made it to where, like, Fear Street, the way that Fear Street was released was perfect. Like 3 like 2-hour-long movies to get everything I needed. Give me that.
Stranger Things.
But you give me, which, I mean, obviously I'm caught up on. I've been caught up.
I
was caught up on Stranger Things before you were.
Yes, you were.
Yeah. So.
But that's because I wanted to rewatch.
Right. Like stuff that I'm already into. It's a lot easier. Stuff that's like established, like any American Horror Story. I could watch
it
like
over and over and over again.
Like right in a row. Give me any season of it, specifically Cult to Roanoke, and I will just watch straight through, not an issue. But like getting into something new, like it'll take me a while.
Right.
Presley's been trying to get me to watch The Good Place for like 3 months, and I've made it like 4 episodes. I just can't. But yeah, I've started Hill House just a couple weeks ago, and I'm already halfway through. So I'll finish it up.
See the ending.
I can't wait. But aside from spooky series and spooky movies, I think you actually are carrying on a spooky segment. right?
I am. I am.
Tell it you yam.
I am.
Today
We are going to be reading some Reddit stories.
Woohoo!
And I'm surprising Houston because he's going to read a couple of them.
No, I'm not.
Yeah,
Oh, the Reddit stories, I still can't look at a bathroom mirror the same. I keep my bathroom door shut now because of it.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Stressed.
I don't want to.
I found all of my Reddit stories
On Reddit.
a thread called No Sleep. And this one is by Writer2203. This is called I'm Not From Here, My Story. I loved camping as a kid, and nature in general, but especially camping. The woods, the sounds of birds, sleeping in tents, campfires, a lot of people in my family hated it, but I could never get enough. So, I was 6 when this happened. My parents were going through a messy divorce. My dad had cheated on my mom, and my older sister had decided to take me camping. She knew how much I loved it and wanted to make me feel better. She had apparently settled on a spot deep in the woods. I always loved it deep in the forest as a child. It was late when we got there, so we immediately set up a tent. After doing this, we started a campfire, and like a cartoon, it almost immediately started pouring with rain. We scurried into our tent like a mouse into a hole after seeing a bird of prey. I tried to fall asleep, and eventually did. I awoke with a start at the sound of animalistic grunting. I thought it was a bear and tried to wake my sister. Psst. Hey Sarah, I think Yogi is outside, I whispered. I had been raised on Yogi Bear cartoons. My parents normally put them on to cover up the sound of their fighting. Shut up, Dennis, she groaned and fell back asleep. I wanted to see the bear, so I tentatively snuck outside, still in my green pajamas. That's when I saw this creature. It was a man, but with the head of a horse. Its eyes glowed a dull yellow. Yogi? I asked tentatively. It faced me, made another animalistic yelp, and then everything went black. I awoke to the sound of birds, but they didn't have the familiar call of the birds in the forest. They sounded strange. I remember thinking that they sounded kind of like the parrots in the zoo when I was quickly dragged to my feet and the bullets started. Jesus fucking Christ, kid! What the fuck are you doing?
Jesus. Fucking Christ. What?
Quote from them, not me.
I know, but still.
A foul-mouthed man wearing green clothing yelled in my face, his spittle flying into my gaping mouth.
I'm so sorry. Spittle.
Where's Yogi? I blubbered. Who? Fucking hell, kid, come with me, he cried and clutched my hand. We ran through the jungle, bullets whizzing past and slamming into trees, until we fell into a trench.
He's in a war?
There were other men there. One was screaming and clutching his stomach. The man who grabbed me yelled, "Need a medic here! This guy's fucked! Goddamn Charlie got the drop on us! Got some weird kid here!" I peeked over the trench and saw a bullet slam into a man's face. His head exploded. The man who grabbed me forced me back down, screaming something about wanting to get my head blown off. I'm 63 now, and no one believes me. I can barely remember that encounter all those years ago, so I maybe have a few details wrong. I was born in 2019. And I'm apparently about to celebrate my 3rd and 64th birthdays simultaneously. Command sent me back from Vietnam nearly as quickly as that weird creature sent me in. When I got back to America, I was placed in foster care. They assumed that all my blabbering about Yogi Bear was from shock. Before you ask, no, I haven't met myself. I thought about it and eventually decided against it. If you're reading this, Sarah, please know that your brother loves you.
That hurt me. My head. My whole head.
That one confused me a little bit whenever I first read it, but then, read it.
And then you read it the second time and it still did?
And no, it makes sense. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, there's like some truth to people being reborn.
Yeah.
So.
Honestly, I think that's what I believe over most things.
Will you read this one for me?
I fucking guess.
Don't sound so excited.
Well, I'm not. This one says, my therapist said it's just apophenia. And then it says, trigger warnings. Implied domestic violence and animal death. Oh, Kaylen, you bitch. User North with a 0 instead of an O. _ star with an X instead of an A and 2 R's. It's Saturday morning. I'm not allowed in the bedroom, but I can see Mama and Wayne are still in bed. I can't leave until I tell them where I'm going. Instead of being able to go outside and see what's on the agenda for the day, I catch a blast of cold, wet air and golden sunshine when I open the door onto the back porch to let out Lucy and the cats. Boo and Biscuits. Oh my god. Boo and
Boo
Biscuits.
and biscuits.
Boo and Biscuits go off and stalk into the big open field next to the houses. Lucy goes to sniff the tire on the neighbor's truck. I catch the door so it don't slam, close close it quietly, and go pour myself a bowl of cereal.
Cyril.
Is it good? Is it good? It's
Yeah.
almost like I grew up in the country. About an hour and a half later, I'm walking uphill onto the roads toward Clyde's house, but that's not where we're going. April talks over the drone of cicadas, saying she found something in the woods up at the top of the hill. The warm gravel crunches under my bare feet, and I'm careful to step around the spiny chestnuts that have fallen from the tree in someone else's yard. It only takes a minute to get to Clyde's. I turn back to look at the grandfather mountain and the trailers down the hill before we disappear into the silent tree line. This is Muhlenberg County. Are you kidding me? The accent was correct. I stopped because I thought it was offensive, but
I thought it was offensive.
but no, it's right. The rotten leaves and pine needles on the ground are chilly. Nothing is warm in the woods. The sun can't get through the dense canopy of green here. Lily is telling April that they can't say anything to their mom. The grown-ups don't like when we go out here. I feel the sweat start to beat on my forehead and I hold my arms, rubbing them to try and make the goosebumps go away. I thought about turning and going back because I'm tired, but April is the oldest and she's the only one who knows the way home. Besides, she says, we're almost there. The silence felt like it stretched on for an eternity, but it couldn't have been more than 10 minutes when we got there. I wasn't sure what there even was. I almost walked into it, except that April grabbed me by the shirt. It was a carcass, a young doe crawling with maggots and half reclaimed by earth. One glassy eye stared straight up into the treetops, as if she was praying to something older than the mountain. I'm half sunk into the damp, mulchy earth when I feel the maggots wiggling on top of my foot. I can only think, I wish I'd put shoes on. And this is why I always wear shoes, because you never know when maggots are going to wiggle on top of your little feetsies.
Ew.
The warmth of the afternoon sun felt unbearable when the three of us emerged from the trees. I'm drenched in sweat, shivering and burning up all at once. None of us speak as we walk down past Claude's and towards April and Lily's house, but something catches my eye. A dark red splatter freckled with pink, and then a soft orange that almost bends into the tan gravel of Preston's empty driveway. I meekly stepped up to the invisible line where the road ends and the sidewalk starts. I don't want to get close. It's Preston's house, you know. Nobody wants their kid to go near it. But I can see from where I'm at. It's Biscuit, lying not even 2 foot from the underpinning of the dirty old trailer, with part of his skull caved in. The blood and brains are already half dried up. I watch a horsefly dance in and out of his empty eye socket. April and Lily are already gone. I only noticed when I hear the screen door slap closed against its frame. I smile while the grief and vomit retch in my throat. By the time I walk to the 50 or so yards back to my house, it's somehow already dark. My head feels full to busting. Mama says I look sick and doesn't take long to touch my forehead and tell me I'm burning up. She bundles me up on the couch and lets me watch cartoons in the living room while she opens a can of soup. There's nothing I can say as she interrogates me on where I've been, what happened, why I don't have shoes on. How am I supposed to tell her? I stared at the purple and red half moon under her eye, but I can only see the deer staring up to God, begging for something I could never comprehend. I think of Biscuit, his empty eye socket with the horsefly darting around it, and know that Wayne will never come back. I was right.
How do you feel?
I'm trying to make sense of it all. My brain's not really working.
Do you remember who Wayne was?
Yeah, her boyfriend. Was Wayne a female deer?
A deer. A
Wayne,
female
Wayne was
deer.
who she was in bed with.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wayne's dead.
First off, not that one of the stories that Kaylen has picked so far made any sense. Kaylen's no longer allowed to do Reddit stories. Can you read me something like it?
It was creepy.
It was. I'm just like, it would mean something different if like the doe was still alive and the cat was dead. Because she was like, I looked into her eye and saw the doe, and then I thought about Biscuit.
Here's what's going to tie it all together. Apophenia is the tendency to perceive meaningful connections between unrelated things.
Well, that made me uneasy. I don't like animal death.
I know it's sad. The next story is by Responsible Set 280.
How responsible are you?
So responsible that the name of the story is I Still Don't Know What Happened on My Birthday That Late Friday Night.
Well, sounds like you might have drank too much. So,
We'll
were
find
you
out.
responsible?
It was another late Friday night drive. However, this time it was my birthday. My girlfriend and I had been out partying, and we were planning on heading home to have a romantic movie night. We left a friend of mine's house. On our way home, while we were contemplating the movie we should watch, I noticed a strange glare behind me. I let off the gas, slowing down some, and I looked closely in my rearview mirror and noticed it was a car flashing its brights rapidly behind me. It was 2:26 a.m., and this was usually an empty road with no one to be seen. I figured something must have been wrong, so I hit the brakes and pulled over. The car flashing its lights pulled over as well, but about 50 feet back. I wondered why they had chosen to keep so much distance between the two of us. I looked over at my girlfriend and told her to stay in the car, reassuring her that I would return shortly with an answer. As I walked towards the car, I noticed the door was wide open. Although I never had that great a vision, I was sure that the car was empty. I walked right up to it, and clearly, no one was there. I looked around to gather awareness of the area I was in, looking for the man or woman who could have been in this car. I continued to look around and began to recognize the area. This was about a quarter of a mile from my house. It was normally hard to tell where my house is without seeing it, due to the fact that it was mostly trees surrounding it, and a single 12-mile road. However, I was sure my house was close. As I strutted back to my car, I thought this time my vision must be playing some sort of trick on me, because there's no way my girlfriend would go completely against my wishes and exit the vehicle. But as I got back to my car, it was true. She was gone. I began to panic, wondering what could be going on. I looked around and there was nothing, not even a chirp of a cricket. My first thought was to call the police, so I reached into my pocket, grabbed my phone, and was disheartened to discover that it was dead. So I hopped in my car to make the way to the police station, but as I cranked the car, all I was hearing was a clicking noise. The battery was dead. All there was left to do was go home. So I ran. I ran the fastest I ever have. So many thoughts rushed through my head. I thought this must be some elaborate scheme to surprise me for my birthday. So much that had happened in the last 10 minutes, it hadn't even crossed my mind that it was my birthday. I was happy, thinking this must be a surprise party and a prank that was being played on me. I bursted through the door, ready to be surprised. I turned on the lights, and the living room was desolate. No one in sight. I scrambled all over the house, looking for any human presence. There was no one. I was in utter distraught to discover I was alone. I looked myself in the mirror, pondering upon my own sanity. I said out loud, "Am I going crazy?" This was uncommon coming from me because I rarely talked to myself. I walked all night until the sun was rising and I found myself in town. There was a car running with no one in it, so I figured I can return it to whomever it belongs, but I have to take this chance. So I drove and drove, and it was clear to me everyone I had known, everyone in this town had disappeared. I thought, had the rapture started and I'm all who is left? No, it can't be. I live a much more honest life than that of some of my friends. I left my town to look for any sign of humanity, and this is where we are today. 2 weeks later, I find myself in Albuquerque, New Mexico, over 300 miles from home. I found people, and everyone seems to be quite normal. However, when looking at multiple maps, my hometown had never existed. For some unknown reason, I am all that's left of my town, and there's no evidence to prove my story. So I'm left here today wondering what exactly happened on my birthday that night. Someone commented and said, "I think you crossed over. Welcome."
A bitch.
Bitch.
How dare you tell me I crossed
That
over?
one made a little more sense.
Oh no, that one made a lot more sense.
A
I
lot
like that
more
one.
sense. Ooh, I'm so glad you're gonna read this one.
I'm not reading it. I'm done.
You're gonna read it. No, you're reading it.
So this one is by Reddit user Zalinas.
Zalinas.
Zylenus. It is called, "I ordered a Halloween mask on Etsy. I was sitting at my desk, staring at my computer and surfing the internet. I know Halloween is basically 2 months away, but still."
It is basically the way.
And that's correct now. Oh, it was posted 2 days ago, so it's better to just have everything beforehand. I'm big on eBay and Etsy, supporting small businesses. Yes, always support small businesses. After spending 20 minutes on eBay and finding nothing that I liked, I was on to Etsy. The first thing I typed into the search bar was scary masks. I scrolled down a bit and then came across a profile with a picture I recognized from an artist I liked. I clicked on the picture and watched as my screen switched itself to their profile. Assuming by the name Brandon Goner, they were probably a guy. I looked at his About Me, and it said he made masks and props. I clicked away and looked over his profile more. He followed no one. He also had no followers. His favorited shops were public, and the only thing he had favorited was a knife shop. He also had two collections of his own products. One was labeled masks, the other props. I clicked on masks and scrolled through. All of them were what seemed to be human and animal faces, all made with surprising detail. Unlike the human ones, the animal ones seemed to give off the appearance of being stretched. Honestly, it kind of creeped me out how realistic they were, as if he had actually stretched the face of a real animal. I singled out one of the masks, a mask that appeared to be the face of a man, with rugged cream skin and a scar dragging itself across its cheek. Freckles were scattered across its face, and it had light stubble. Again, the attention to detail was incredible. It would be great for the costume that I had in mind. I quickly got my credit card from my drawer. You keep your credit card in your drawer, weirdo.
Weird.
And bought the mask. When I had officially confirmed the order, I wasn't expecting a message from Brandon. "Thanks for the purchase. You're my first buyer." "Oh, no problem," I said. "I just needed a mask for a Halloween costume, and yours looked pretty cool. I'm going to throw in a few extra treats for you. A couple props, maybe, and an animal mask since you were so kind. You really don't have to. You should sell those things." No, I need to get them off my back." After that, I didn't reply. I waited with anticipation for my package until the following Monday. The box was bigger than expected. It was a plain cardboard box with no stickers or writing on it, which was strange, but I knew it had to be my order. I wasn't expecting anything else, but the smell was even stranger. I could smell it before I opened the box. It was putrid and sour. I tried to breathe through my mouth, but could taste it on my tongue, so I immediately closed my mouth. I sat down on the couch, package in my lap, and knife by my side. I dug my knife through the tape. My roommate came up behind me. He was gripping the couch. "Hey, Carrie." He looked over my shoulder. "What's that?" I dragged my knife through the rest of the tape and opened the box. "Oh, nothing. Just some stuff I got for Halloween." The mask that I had originally ordered was on top of everything else. Nothing was wrapped, just lazily thrown on top of each other. I spotted a cat mask underneath the human one, making itself quite noticeable with the orange fur. I picked up the human mask and examined it. There were threads in the cheeks connecting themselves behind the face, which was probably so that I could put it on and wear it just as a normal mask. I ran my hands over the cheek and immediately drew back. It felt like real skin. Like my skin. "Freaky," Jaden said, leaning over the couch. "I know, right?" I said, turning my head over to look at him. His mouth was down into a frown and his eyebrows were furrowed. "That looks super real. What else is there? You got props?" He reached over my shoulder and pulled a hand out of the box, and then immediately dropped it. "Ooh!" He drew his hand back and wiped it on the couch, like there was something on it. "What is that made of?" "I have no idea. Weird, right?" I grabbed the mask and waved it jokingly in front of Jaden's face, earning a loud groan and an eye roll. He shoved my hand away and looked at me again. "That smells like literal shit. Are you seriously gonna wear that? Are these us?"
Sounds exactly like
Right.
it, doesn't it?
"Duh, I'm gonna wipe it down or something." I put the mask back in the box and closed it. I don't know what I'm gonna do with all the random body parts, though. That sentence is just so strange. Just keep them away from me. And for the love of God, please put that in your room before it smells everything up. He called, walking over to the kitchen. "I should just put it in your room. It already reeks of weed and BO, I told him as I stood up. The box in my arms. "It does not," he said, opening the fridge door. "Whatever," I mumbled, walking to my room. I put the box in my closet, pushing it over to the top shelf above my clothes. I really hoped it wouldn't stink up my closet or my clothes. I went to bed. I went to my bed and sat down, pulling up my phone and checking my notifications. The local news app I was subscribed to had posted a new article. "Man found dead in park. Police said it's the most gruesome thing they've ever seen." I won't take a screenshot since it won't allow me to. I'll just copy and paste some of it below. It's really smart, making it seem like it's real. But is it real? It could be. We never know.
Could be.
At 6:22 a.m., the police got a call from a woman going on a jog. Upon the police's arrival, she claimed to have spotted a leg poking out of a bush and wanted to check on whoever it may have been. When she went to go check, she found that the leg wasn't attached to a body, prompting her to call the police. At first, I thought maybe it was just a prop, like a gag someone had left to freak people out, but the smell was so bad and it looked so real, she said. Police searched the park and found a dead cat and man. His leg was missing, matching up with the one that the joggers had found in the bushes. The police did not find a collar on the cat, nor did they find a face. The man currently remains unidentified, as his face was missing as well as one of his hands. The investigation will continue. The woman will be brought in for questioning as well as other possible suspects. They did write more, but I didn't find it necessary to post all of it. I removed the park's name, since it's not really a good idea to post the location of a park located right beside where I live. I know I'm probably overreacting. What?
I got overreacting.
I promise.
I
know that right. I know that I'm probably overreacting to the literal flesh and body parts that was shipped to me in a box. But whatever. I know that I'm probably overreacting. Like, I don't even know what the man looked like, or the cat. That's correct, because it was missing a face. But it was so near my house, and they look so real. The coincidence is insane, and the smell is so bad, like it's actually rotting. As I'm writing this, I can smell the stink leaking out of my closet. Get the fuck rid of it. I was really just gonna leave it and ignore it, but I don't know if I should take it to the police or not.
You should.
Yeah, I think so.
You should.
I think that might be a good fucking idea. And a couple of minutes ago, I got this message from the seller. It's like he knows I'm thinking about it, and I'm really, really regretting buying from him. Did you like the masks? Sorry about the smell, by the way. The guy I got it from really stunk.
I knew you'd like that one.
I like that one.
I knew you'd like that one.
That was fun.
You'll like the next one, too.
Ooh.
I'm excited for you to hear what it's called.
So we got one more?
Just one more.
Just one. I don't think any of them are going to top that one.
That one was so far your favorite?
Because the first two confused me. I like the birthday one too. But this one was...
Top tier?
Toppy tier. This one was good one. You know I love anything gore. And
I know. Alright, are you ready for this one?
Hit me with your best shot.
Spy user Omega369. Alright, are you ready for the name of this one?
Nope.
The Crocs and Socks Stalker.
Hold on, let's talk about it. It's here. We've made it.
Let's talk about it.
I have really serious opinions on things that I shouldn't have. Like, that just don't seem like they are deserving of, passionate opinions.
Right.
One of those is how much I fucking hate Crocs.
And socks.
And socks. Socks and Crocs together. First off,
Terrible.
I'm not an open-toed shoe type of person.
Mm-hmm.
I only ever wear like tennis shoes, Converses. Like I only wear like closed-toed.
Right.
And I also keep my shoes on way more than I should.
Very often.
I've
seen this man in bed with shoes.
Yeah, I fall asleep in my shoes like once a week.
Mm-hmm.
Just because like I will literally not take them off until like I'm going to bed, and sometimes I forget if I'm like tired. As soon as I get out of the shower in the morning, I immediately go put shoes on. Those shoes stay on my feet until I go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
Because closed-toed shoes are the way to go. Open-toed shoes are bullshit. Along with open-toed shoes, you get the monstrosities that are Chacos and Crocs.
Chacos are really bad.
And I hate both of them. Substantially, I hate Crocs more. They are so tacky. They look like they're made out of the same material as circus peanuts. Which, don't get me wrong, I love a circus peanut, but not in shoe form.
Just don't walk up to Houston and ask him what he thinks about your Chacos, because he'll tell you that they're tacky.
I will tell you.
I've seen it happen.
Yeah, Chacos or Crocs, they're both terrible. And I thought we got rid of the Crocs because they came out when I was in high school, and then they disappeared, and then all of a sudden...
They are worth $50 or more.
They have come back with a vengeance.
A vengeance.
They were like, you know what?
Disgusting.
We're going to make Houston's life miserable.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, why?
Uh-huh.
Why do they exist? They're tacky. I'm sorry. And if you decorate them, you do you, boo.
More
I won't
power
judge
to
you. But just know that I am literally trying to stomach down my vomit. And I am doing my best. So
I'm crying.
anyway, sorry. I'm sorry I'm so passionate about open-toed
Crocs.
shoes.
Okay.
Hit me with the Crocs.
Our user says... Oh, and this one came off of the Reddit thread, Let's Not Meet.
Let's not ever.
This actually happened a few hours ago, and I am still unsettled about the whole encounter.
There's so many stories where it's like, and now I'm sitting in my bedroom by myself after this literally just occurred. And so the first thing I decided to do was grab my phone.
And write a Reddit thread.
Right.
I'm still unsettled about the whole encounter. I decided to drop it over here to get it out of my system. Actually. I've had creeps tailgate me or try to grab my attention on the road, and I just ignore them, which always worked. But this guy takes the golden medal. My shift starts at the afternoon, and I was feeling off for most of the day. A beautiful sunny day, mind you. You know, one of those days where you drag yourself out of your bed to adulting. I decided to lift my mood up, so I wore something new that I had. I played some piano tracks and hoped that I'll get out of this funk. I just needed something to comfort me, and those two things didn't cut it. While I was driving to work, I decided to grab a drink, and ice crisp tea will definitely lift my spirit. There were 2 branches of a famous coffee shop, you know who, a grinning mermaid who's playing Twister. I could have gone to the first one with the drive-thru, but they use a pretty crappy tea brand, as they ran out of the good stuff, so I had to go to the one that was inside a mall. Anything to feel better, right?
Oh god, not me in a mall.
I parked my car and I saw a private fleet of black SUVs, making it difficult to view the entrance. This is important later. I grabbed a cold bottle of water and headed to the counter. I paid for my drink and got a cherry lollipop, because why not? Waited for my drink, and once I got it, I started walking out. I had to pass a fountain in the courtyard before I can reach the exit.
I'm so sorry. This person is the epitome of treat yourself.
Treat yourself.
Just like walking through, like, I want a fucking coffee. You know what? I think I want a lollipop.
You know
like,
what? I think I'm gonna get all this.
Yeah.
Gotta bring the day up. I slowed my pace as I noticed that I was walking too fast. I felt a bit off, but brushed it off. As I passed between the SUVs, a bus shot through quickly. I stopped in shock as I almost walked in its path. This didn't make me realize what was happening. As I got distracted and wasn't aware of my surroundings, as I walked further, I had to pass an area where there isn't anyone. It was shaded, but still outdoor. Almost like under a bridge-style building, if that makes sense. This was the way to my car. I noticed that I wasn't aware of my surroundings till I heard footsteps on my right. Then I saw a man in my peripheral vision walking and matching my speed. At first I thought he was in a uniform, so I assumed he was cleaning staff in the mall. I felt off, but I told myself that I am being paranoid and overthinking. Next to my car and on my left side was a woman with a child who were getting into their car. This will make sense later. I was sandwiched between my car and hers. I was getting my keys out of my fur vest, and then I had to turn around in order to open my driver door as I was a bit ahead of it. Once I turned, I saw a man standing. Looked like in his late 30s, skinny, average height. He had a dark blue baseball cap with sunglasses, a gray shirt with some print on it, and black sweatpants. Crocs shoes with socks.
Nope.
He was so close that it took me by surprise.
Fucking sociopath.
He was so close that it took me by surprise and I was startled. But being nice and polite is in my blood, so I assumed nothing. The first thing that he said, "Why are you afraid?" I told him that I wasn't and asked him what he wanted. "Is your car for sale?" he said, while grinning. I said no. Then he started to ask about how my day was going and stuff along those lines. The heck, I don't know you. Alarm bells were ringing in my head. I smiled as to not escalate the situation. I knew I had to do something. He was blocking my way to the mall entrance, and if I decided to go the other way, which was a pretty large shaded parking lot with few people here and there. "It was nice to meet you, but I gotta leave," I said, smiling. "Give me your phone number," he said bluntly.
Absolutely fucking not.
I just repeated the same phrase and took a step closer to my door as I didn't want to show him that I was afraid. I was pooping bricks at that moment. Then he said something that made me want to crawl out of my skin. "Give me your phone number so I don't have to chase you around in my car." At this moment, I knew I had to move fast, so I opened my door and ignored him. He kept talking, and I wasn't sure what he was saying as it felt muffled. My anxiety was higher than tip of Mount Everest now, and I was hit with this realization that even in public spaces and in broad daylight with people around you, you can lose your sense of safety in a split second. I closed the door quickly and locked it. My fingers felt weak, but I managed to turn on the car. He kept knocking on my window. He was so insistent. I put my car in reverse mode, but I couldn't back out. The woman was halfway getting out of her parking spot, thus forcing me to wait. He kept knocking pretty hard and saying stuff. At that moment, I honestly couldn't hear him. All I wanted was to nope out of there.
Nope, right the fuck out.
It's N-O-O-P. Nope. I was so afraid and just baffled. I had to look at the window to see when the road will get clear so I can back out while he was standing in front of my window, rapidly knocking it. I avoided making eye contact with him. Once the road was clear, I hit the gas pedal and speed off.
Spud.
He says speed. I drove to random places while my eyes are fixed on my rearview mirror to make sure he wasn't following me. It was so hard to breathe as my chest felt so heavy and my heart was beating out of my chest. I was glad he wasn't there. This creep followed me around the mall and waited for the right moment I was alone and threatened me to give him my phone number and was totally unaware of how a creep he was. My therapist will definitely hear about this. To the guy with the baseball cap and the Crocs with socks, let's not ever, ever meet again.
That's the one. See, I don't trust anybody anyway. Dude, if you come at me, we're tussling.
But if you come at me with Crocs and socks,
We're really tussling.
we're about to throw down.
Right. Here's the thing. I'll fight anybody if I feel threatened. I don't really care. I'm scrappy, we know.
Mm-hmm.
But those Crocs, dude, what are you gonna do? Throw them into fucking turbo and chase me down?
Get out of here with your Crocs and socks.
Yeah, get out of here with your Crocs.
That's all my Reddit stories for today.
That's it?
Mm-hmm.
My favorite was the Can I Have Your Face?
Mm-hmm.
That's the name of that episode now.
So, can I have your face birthday?
Can I Have Your Birthday Face?
Mm-hmm.
That's my favorite one. The two together. But yeah, no. I like those though.
They were creepy.
Yeah, even like the two that I didn't necessarily fully grasp the outcome. They were spooky. Let's do more!
We shall.
Well, you'll probably get one in Halloween, let's be honest.
Oh, yeah, for sure. The creepy ones.
So...
We can get even more creepy.
Halloween's, like, the month of October is just gonna be so spooky, so...
So much fun.
I'm so excited. But we appreciate you guys listening to this episode.
We do, and we appreciate you all checking out our merch.
Yes, also make sure that you guys are leaving reviews and comments and engaging. We want you guys, if you feel so inclined,
let us know how we're doing.
yeah, leave us rankings and reviews so we know how to make everything better. Other than that, you can make sure to catch us on our social medias, all at Crime or Reason on all of your major social media platforms. You can email us, crimeorreason@gmail.com, with anything that your heart most desires.
Anything.
Anything.
At all.
Yeah.
Just talk to us.
Just talk to us. We're lonely. So, other than that, stay safe.
Stay healthy.
And stay
Criminal.
Goodbye, y'all.
Bye.